So now we got here the rapper that goes by the name of Spoony-B. What's up, Spoony-B?
What's going on, Cole? What's going on, man?
Appreciate you joining me for this quick little interview.
Hell
So,
yeah.
Spoonie doesn't know any of these questions. I'm just gonna be shooting them off to him off the cuff. So,
Oh, no shit.
Spoony-B, who are you?
Who am I? Well, I'm just a rapper, 19 years old, from Philadelphia. I released an EP earlier this year. It was my first EP. Cole Mize did my cover art for me. I sent it to some blogs and stuff. I'm still, trying to promote it and everything. But I had this idea. I auditioned for a coast-to-coast event. It's coming in Philadelphia at the Voltage Lounge. Okay, they liked my audition. They said, you know what, we want you here. I got put on the roster. So the competition's April 28th. If I place first, I go to Miami. So, I'm just working towards, getting my single recorded, Welcome to Philly, which Cole Mize, he's been helping me with that a lot along the way too. And this, I think, could be like my breakout song. So we're just working with it, and we're going to be working on another EP soon as well, so
Yes, sir.
it's going to be cool.
Yes, sir. A lot of behind the scenes work
That's
going
right.
on. So you just you answered
Yeah.
like half the questions I had for the interview in that one question, which is
Well,
all good.
it's
Which is all good. So tell me this, Spoonie, what got you into rapping in the first place?
what got me into rapping, man. That's a good question. Well, basically, when I was a kid, like I grew up around rap music. My mom always listened to rap music. My first rap song I ever heard was "Can't Touch This" by MC Hammer. So, yeah. So then I started listening to some Tupac, some Biggie. Tupac became, one of my favorite rappers of all time, next to Eazy-E. Unfortunately, they're both dead, but what can you do? Uh, and then I started listening to more rap. I got into like 50 Cent, and I got into Eminem, and all these other guys growing up. And a lot of today's current music I don't really follow. I mean, I listen to Kendrick Lamar, Logic, people like that, but I don't really follow today's music because, I just don't like it. I'm not into it. I mean, I like Hopsin, Tech Nine, but what really got me into rap, I would say, like, as a fan of the music, is just growing up, listening to it in the car, just getting my first CD. It was just, I just fell in love with the art, really. That's how it really all started. And I didn't get into rapping until, sixth grade. And me, Cole, we had this conversation before where, growing up, I went to a really bad, elementary school where I was bullied. I was beat up a lot. I got, spit on the bus, jumped in the library. I didn't have any friends. I didn't really have anybody to really look up to. I mean, my dad wasn't, really ever there for me. That's why my parents are getting a divorce this in like another month. But really, it was really difficult for me as a child. And I didn't discover rap until my friend Terrell, came over one day. We were like in sixth grade, and I have it on DVD. It's our first ever song that we ever recorded.
Oh,
And we just got a beat off YouTube, and then we had it blasting on the TV. I had the lyrics on a piece of paper, and I was just reading off of it, like with the camera right there. I just had the paper right in front of me. We were stuttering over our words. It didn't make any sense, and it was inspired by Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Like it was like, it was funny too because we were just playing San Andreas. We're like, let's make a rap about San Andreas. So I was the Ballas. All right, he was Grove Street. So he was repping Grove Street. I was repping the Ballas. And we were going back and forth. That's hilarious. Like I got to share that. I got to share that with you guys sometime because that would be.
Yeah.
It was awesome. My mom's like just chilling on the computer, like in the corner, and she's just hearing this, like she's just shaking her head. It was funny.
I'm gonna
That was my first song. Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna need to get
That was my
link.
first song ever.
I'm gonna need to get that URL
Yeah,
link
and then
from
you and then I started taking music real seriously in eighth grade because that's when I recorded. That's when I uploaded my very first song on YouTube, and that one was Final Shot. And my high school, I still wasn't very popular in middle school. Okay, the bullying stopped because I went to a better district, but I still didn't have anybody. I was still kind of an outcast. So that was really hard for me. Like I got, very depressed. I was facing a lot of, I got into some drugs, but I'm clean now. But like I just felt like I was a loner, but I didn't want to be. I wanted to be popular, you know what I'm saying? But I couldn't get there. I wasn't bullied like I was in elementary school, but middle school I was still not very popular. Went into high school, still wasn't really, popular with anything. I came out with two songs, The Final Shot and The Real MC. The Real MC is really what really gave me some high reputation in high school because that really showed off my lyrical ability. The song is still on YouTube to this day, but it says 2015 underneath the video because it was a re-upload. But I actually made that song the beginning of sophomore year of high school. So that song came out. I joined the wrestling team. I started trying to get more into shape. I got a little bit stronger, got better with my music. And then, at the end of high school, I was one of the most known kids in my high school. I went from being the very bottom to the very top, and being a complete nobody, trash, like just something that people spit on, all the way to high school where at Pride Day at my talent show, I got the loudest ovation out of anybody. Like just the introduction, everybody knew who Spoony-B was. Everybody, if not the freshman, the sophomore, junior, senior, everybody knew who I was. Okay, they knew who Spoony-B was. So that's really what helped me. It's just music, but it's just crazy how you can go from the bottom to the top. And I don't want to just do that with high school, but I want to do that for the entire world.
Absolutely.
So that's
so you would attribute rapping as being your outlet to kind of find your place, I guess you could say, in society. In that case, it was your school, that society.
Honestly, and this is going to be strong. This is going to be a strong word, okay? But I want everybody to listen to this. If I didn't find music, I don't even know if I'd still be alive today.
Real talk, man.
So that's
real talk. I think a lot of people can relate to that too, man, because music is therapeutic. It's an outlet to express yourself, and it's a voice for people who don't have a voice or don't feel like they have a voice.
Yeah.
So tell me this, man. You don't have to go into great detail, but just off the cuff, like, what do you feel like some of your struggles with rapping has been?
Some of my you mean like weaknesses? Would you
not
say?
necessarily weaknesses, but maybe things like, and it don't have to be like right now. It could just be like up until this point, like maybe looking back, like maybe something that you had struggled with rapping. It could be anything. It could be
like from when I first started to kind of where I am now, just things I've had trouble with.
Yeah, it don't just it could just be like one thing, like maybe that stands out to you, maybe above all of them, like maybe one thing that you struggle with the most that you may have overcame.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to writing, when I first started writing lyrics, I mean I wasn't good. I couldn't flow. I wasn't. I couldn't rhyme big words together. I knew nothing about, counting up syllables and stuff like that. I knew nothing about, what my style was going to be, what kind of beats. I mean, I like West Coast beats. That's just the kind of thing I do, like Dr. Dre, stuff like that. But really, I feel like what I struggled most with as an artist was just trying to find my own style. Because the thing is, rapping, technique wise, I just get better every time I write. Like that's just something that flow, when it comes to just flow, syllable count, emotion, timing, stuff like that. So
he's making fun.
I'm taking shots. Yeah, I'm taking shots at Cole. I do that all the time. But yeah. Anyway, like I was saying, as timing. An artist, technique slowly just gets better. But I think as an artist, I struggle most with trying to find myself and trying to find my style, because when I first started rapping, I sounded like Eazy-E. Believe it or not.
Wow.
I rapped on Eazy-E beats. I tried to adjust my voice to sound like Eazy-E because as a kid I had a higher pitched voice, and everyone was like, "Yeah, you do kind of sound like Eazy-E." But I was like, "All right, well, this isn't going to work because when I mature and hit puberty, my voice is going to deepen. My voice is going to, when my balls drop, my voice is going to deepen. I'm going to need a new art. I'm going to need to, really try to elevate myself."
Real talk.
So then I, after the Real MC came out, people were like, "All right, he sounds like Eminem." Now now this, I get this a lot, okay, and I get the 8 Mile hat, whatever. I understand what you're coming off as. I'm white, okay, I'm a rapper. I rap about struggles, I mean, we do have the same kind of struggles, especially with my dad, not being there and everything like that. But the thing is, I don't really take it as just that, but I've gotten compared to many artists, okay, like a lot of people say the beats I rap on just sound like Dr. Dre beats. People say, this and that. People will say a lot, and I read an article on you. It's just like nobody's original. It's just like everybody's going to sound like somebody until they eventually find their own thing. Now, when I first started, I sounded exactly like Eazy-E, okay? And I wish I still had some recordings of that, but I did. I sounded just like Eazy-E. And then I tried to, I listened to a lot of Tupac, and I started trying to sound like him as well. And, it just didn't work. It doesn't work when you try to sound like someone, but if you just take a pen and you just write down some lyrics, and people are going to say you sound like somebody. It's bound to happen. But the thing is, you just eventually over time you'll find you'll find yourself, and you'll find your own flow. Like if you use "Welcome to Philly" as an example, I don't really see who that sounds like. It sounds like Spoony-B to me.
Yeah.
That's a song that sounds like me. I listen to "Welcome to Philly," and I don't hear any other comparison. So over time, I think eventually you do find your own flow. And a lot of rappers have inspired me. Okay, a lot of rappers from the 90s, I don't listen to much rap today, but there is a couple of artists from today that do inspire me to continue doing what I'm doing and to continue to write what I'm writing about. Okay. And if you remember, I don't know if this is just jumping completely to another subject or if you were going to get to this, but Welcome to Philly, like more of the background behind it was before we started working on the official project for Welcome to Philly. Before that, I had a rough draft, like I had a completely different version of Welcome to
And
Philly.
for those
And
real
this
quick, when he's talking about Welcome to Philly, this is the first track off a new EP he's working on, and it's a competition track. He's actually going to be competing in the competition this month. Was it Coast to Coast mixtapes in Philadelphia?
Coast to coast, yeah. I mean, first place goes to Miami for the convention. You're going to meet a lot of producers, some A&R agents. You're going to meet a lot of people in the industry that could really help you out and get you up there. So
Right, so that's what he's referring to when he keeps saying Welcome to Philly. It hasn't even been released yet. This track's it's behind the scenes, so just so you guys know that.
I mean, if this hangout's on the 24th and the 28th is my competition, so it's 4 days before. So our next hangout after this, I will come up and describe, what it was like to be on stage and how the competition went, how I placed, how I did, how I felt.
That'd be dope, man. So you was going back to talking about conceptualizing the song, and you had already come up with some stuff.
I mean, Welcome to Philly became an anthem track. It became like an anthem. But before that, you remember, Cole, I sent you a rough draft of Welcome to Philly. It was a completely different beat. It was a hard beat, and I went off, man. It was an angry song. I was dissing Slim Jesus. I was dissing Stitches. I was dissing Drake.
Ex-girlfriends. It was a diss track. It was a diss track.
This wasn't no anthem. This Welcome to Philly should have been called Go Fuck Yourself. I mean, honestly, that's what it should have been called. Welcome to Philly. I mean, so anyway, Cole listened to it.
I had to pull him to the side and talk to him.
He had to calm me down a little bit. He saw I was getting a little angry. Okay, I wasn't really, but that's just who I am. But anyway, yeah, the old Welcome to Philly, I mean, the song was dope. I mean, my friends liked it. They were digging it. It just wasn't a track for a competition where I'm trying to hype up a crowd. Like, you know what I'm saying? So this was just an angry, it was just brutal. If it sounded like I was getting ready to just go on a rampage and just kill a bunch of people or something.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we had to pull them back in and talk concepts of the song. Like, what's the song meaning? Yeah. What's it about? Who's this for? Who do you want to hear this song? And that type of stuff. And which is really important. And
right.
And I mean, that was something I know that was new for you, Spoony, as far as like, because I kept on telling Spoony, I was like, man, you work so fast. Like, I talked to you, I might coach you in a session, and then you've already recorded a whole nother song that night, and then you already got to upload it on SoundCloud. And I was like, man, I just want to work with you on one song from start to finish, just so you can see the process. And I said, I guarantee.
And now we're doing that for a whole EP, just like how Dr. Dre worked with his artists back in the day. We're going to be doing the same thing for this EP, and I'm going to be promoting it like hell, man. It's going to go all over the place. So you guarantee it, man.
It's going to be nice and polished.
My goal as an artist, man, I would love to one day feature on Double XL, even if it's not the Freshman Club, even if it's just an artist to watch page. I want to be on that magazine because that magazine, Double XL, I've been looking at that. I've been a fan of Double XL magazine since I was a little kid, and I always thought about, what it would be like to actually be on it. Not necessarily the front page, just in it. Like, it's just an honor. So many artists have come up and gotten on that magazine, artists to watch, front page, everything, as advertisements, whatever. But that would be an honor, man. And that's just something that I would love. That's like one of my number one goals is just to get on that magazine. So.
And that, let that be, I guess, a reminder to everybody, like, look, don't be afraid to dream big. You know what I'm saying? I think having a vision is really important. A vision is something that you see that's not where you're currently at. And then your mission is how you get there. Your mission is how you get to your vision. And so having a vision gives you the drive to go hard week after week. You're working towards something.
There's different ways you can get there. I mean, you're not going to get there spamming your mixtape link and a bunch of Facebook messengers and SoundCloud inboxes
or my YouTube channel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, and it's the same thing with people that want to work with me. Like, I'll get like people that want to collaborate, which I don't mind. I mean, if I like what you do, then I mean, maybe we could work on something. Like, we're one artist I really want to work with. Like you said, Low Too Cold. I really want to work with him, man. Like, I've heard his music. I'm a huge fan. He's a really good artist. He's just awesome. I'd like to work with him one day on a track. I think we would rip it apart. It would be great.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
I highly believe that as well because y'all are both dope
Yeah.
artists. Ain't no doubt about that. Tell me this, Spoonie. This may be hard for you, but just the first song that comes to mind. Name one of your favorite rap songs, and why is it one of your favorite rap songs? I won't say.
Man,
I won't make you. I won't make.
easy.
You said it's easy.
That's easy. My ultimate favorite rap song. Or maybe it's not easy. I mean, there's a couple like close
Right,
head-to-head
just one of
things.
them. Just one of them. Don't
You
have
know,
to be
all right,
one.
you know,
I know you probably can't pick one, but just one of them that
Miley
comes to.
Cyrus by Stitches. No, I'm kidding. That was a joke. Okay, I don't listen to Stitches. He's whack. But anyway, in all seriousness, now, if I had to pick one, I'm big on dissing people. I like to make fun of people. I know I'm a dick. I get it. But I think my favorite rap song has to be "Hit 'Em Up" by Tupac Shakur. It's got to be. I mean, I'm already a Tupac fan,
That song
but,
is brutal, man. That's
brutal, man.
it's uncomfortable to even listen to it. It's like, God, I can't believe he said this stuff, man. Like, wow.
Yeah, but I mean, there's also close seconds. I mean, that is tough though, man.
Let's just focus on "Hit 'Em Up" though. Why is that one of your favorites?
Man, it hypes me up. Like before a wrestling match in high school, I would just blast "Hit 'Em Up." It just the beat, the intro, like the way he came off, like that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. Just the way he just came off, man, it was great. I loved it.
Just the energy, and I guess maybe the competitive vibe that's behind it. Going up against somebody like. So
it's just it was a crazy track, and I just love how Pac went off at the end. It's just something I feel like I would do. It's just after you just lyrically slay everyone, the beat drops and he just cusses everyone out on the stage, just screaming, and
he just keeps going at
you too, and fuck you too, and fuck you too, Mob Deep, fuck you too. It was great, man. I just loved it, man. It excites me,
Okay, so we'll segue from that one into tell me this just out the top of your head. Just off the top, whatever comes to mind first, man. Name two things you love and name two things you hate.
Now, this could be anything.
Anything that comes to mind.
Two things I love. Anything that comes to mind. And two things I hate. And that's hard. That's some hard shit. All right, well, one thing I hate is condoms. Okay, all honesty, I'm being dead serious. Like this, I ain't trying to be fun. This is serious. I hate condoms. Listen, don't laugh. I'm being serious because the thing is, like, I've had some bad experiences. All right.
No, we don't have to go into too much detail about those experiences, but you've had some bad experiences.
Yeah, I'll just keep it at that.
Okay.
They're a pain in the ass. Okay. Sometimes I just want to get that motivation where I just want to do it Eazy-E style and just raw dog it. But I can't always.
Your word usage, man. It's just you can't use those words when you're referring to condoms.
I mean,
go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I watched Straight Outta Compton. I saw what happened to Easy. It really is sad. I mean, that scene almost
Straight Outta Condoms.
Tear up.
Compton.
Straight Outta Compton. Straight Outta, yeah. Gotcha. Well, that movie, I almost teared up on the Eazy-E death scene because, like I said, man, he's just my favorite artist, and it sucks for anybody that has to deal with AIDS. Like, I really do feel for them, but condoms, man, I hate them. They're in the way. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. Anything else? What's one more thing?
I'm one of those guys that would just poke holes in it and just go in.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah. And now for the second thing I hate, can it be a person or does it have to be like a thing?
It could be anything. It could be food. It could be a person. It could be a chore. It could be whatever. You don't have to overthink it.
I gotta go with Caitlyn.
Okay. All right, we'll just leave it at that. If y'all don't know who that is, y'all have to check out his EP.
You'll know who that is. You can probably just listen to any Spoony-B song, and you'll know who it is. She's a bitch. Fuck her.
He talks about her ad nauseum on his EP. So if y'all want to know more about that story, y'all can check out his EP.
Valentine's Day.
Well, what's two things you love though?
Two things I love. Man, there ain't much I love. I mean, I love rap music. All right, I love rap music. Obviously, that's common. Like, obviously, I love rap music. And I love spreading positive energy, even though I come off as a negative person. What I mean by that is, I'm always dissing people. Like I made that Drake diss, I made the Slim Jesus diss, I dissed Stitches, all this stuff, and I'm always like shooting off. I come across as a negative person. I come across as someone that somebody just wouldn't like. You know what I'm saying? This, but like, so, but I don't want people to take me the wrong way. It's just my personality, it's just who I am. But I do want to spread, positivity with my music, even though I don't rap about positive things, if that makes sense. I kind of want to be myself and do my own thing. But at the same time, it can be hard because people will listen to me and just be like, all right, this guy's, an asshole. But the thing is, like, I just want to make music that people can listen to and be inspired by. And not all my music is angry. I do tell stories with my music. If you look at my last EP, Valentine's Day, Won't Give Up, songs like that are actually what's really. I do have a motivational side. Like a lot of people will think I'm just a comical, angry rapper who just talks about selling his soul and Cheerios and all these other rappers that try to take the spotlight. But I do love trying to be motivational and trying to come across as a positive person. And another goal I have in music is to just do a lot of, I want to do some charity work. Even if I just start my own campaign or something. I mean, my name is Spoony-B. I mean, you pitched the idea like spoons could represent hunger. I want to do something like that along those lines because, I mean, there's a lot of people on the street starving, but they don't get, they don't get these, they just don't, I feel like they never really got a chance. I feel like, there's just a lot of problems in this world that are being overlooked. And you have, people in the military getting killed and stuff, but you have a lot of celebrities, and they're always being looked up to, like they're being like celebrity like worshipped, and a lot of people are just getting brainwashed into this. Okay, because I mean we are artists, so when fans look up to us, that's awesome. But I feel like our fans should just take a minute and be like, all right, they make great music, we're a big fan of them, but at the same time, they're trying to help people with their donations and everything. But as a person, like I want to be able to go out there and learn from these artists and go out there and help these people that are starving. I want to go out there and spread positivity. I'm not religious, but give money to the church, give money to the hungry kids. To the military, give donations to the military. Wounded Warrior Project, all that stuff. Yeah. I feel like all of that is a very important example because if celebrities do it, the celebrities have a lot of money and they have a lot of money to give, but the fans, if you add up all the fans' money, like the donations they could give, that could mean the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. And I'm sure that's an underlining motivation too. Like, not only like you mentioned like Double XL, but I'm sure like that is probably a pretty big underlining motivation too for you to be successful because you want to make a difference.
And I know you said like list 2 things you hate, but another thing that, in all seriousness, one thing I really do hate is when people just don't take. They don't look at the world's problems. They kind of only think they're selfish and they only think about themselves and what will benefit them. And of course, they'll have artists like music that they listen to. They'll have their favorite TV stars and movies who are trying to do good with the charity stuff. But it's like we can't do it on our own. We need everybody else to pitch in and help. And I know the fans, the people, they're not as rich as these celebrities, but they can still pitch in. They can still help out. $1. It doesn't matter if you give them a penny. Anything, man. It's just, and it sucks. There shouldn't be all these people on the street starving and stuff, man. It ain't cool.
Yeah.
It's just not something that
especially when you see how much like food and stuff we throw away. You know what I'm saying? Like, from working at a grocery store, you know how much stuff y'all throw away. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, I work in the produce department. It's a disgrace. We throw away so much good stuff, man. So much stuff, and even the stuff that isn't like people wouldn't buy, like like if a potato's a little rotted, like a piece, we gotta throw the whole thing out. But if you gave that to a hungry person, man, they would tear that up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's a disgrace, really, how much we throw away in our stores. How much why throw it away when you could just give it to someone in need? I mean, I was just at the Wawa. For people that don't know, Wawa is like a store in Philadelphia, and there was a guy. He was starving, man, and he was embarrassed, and this really crushed me, man. He was embarrassed to ask for help. Okay, he was scared to ask for help. He was scared to ask people, but you could tell he was struggling. He was just shaking. He was real cold. He was sitting on the step, man, and I gave him $25. I told him to go get something to eat. God bless him. Have a nice day. And I didn't have much on me that day. I was going to go in the Wawa. You know how much I eat. I was going to get a big ass sandwich. I was going to get a large coffee, spray, all this stuff, man. I only had $35 on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I used that $10 to get some. I got a little sandwich. I got some iced tea, and I hit it. But I try to give back when I can. And especially when people like that, they're afraid. And it sucks when you're afraid to ask for help. I think that's also something that I just think is a disgrace. You shouldn't be afraid to be able to lend a helping hand. Just be like, you know what, can you help me? I mean, a lot of people do get themselves in that situation, but the thing is, like, you could still help out. Like, you could still do something, and you shouldn't be afraid to ask because the world is so cruel. The world is a hell. And that's why I'm not religious like I used to be, when I was a kid, because a lot of people, a lot of Christians and people like that will be like, all right, you die, you go to hell. But it's like, I feel like this world's already hell. We're just living it. This is just another day. And when we die, we'll probably just get sent to another hell. It's a never-ending cycle of hell. So I believe there is no paradise. It's like we live in this world of sickness and cruelty. We die and we move on to something else. I mean, I hope it's something better, but the way this world is, and it just, I don't know. Nobody knows, but all I know is you shouldn't be afraid to ask for help. You should be able to lend a helping hand, with people starving, with people injured, hurt, in hospitals, sick, with cancer. It's a disgrace, man. We gotta really, I think, just learn how to accept people and their problems and really help when they're in need.
Real talk, man. Real talk, brother. So, wrapping up, man, let me ask you this. Let people know where they can check you out. Like, where's your preferred place where people can check out your music and get in touch with you?
Right now, I mean, I have a lot of stuff I'm working on this summer. But I mean, like, Welcome to Philly, I want to shoot a music video for. I mean, I just got my videographer from Philly, and he's really, really professional. He does a great job. So I'm going to get that done. But as far as where you can check my music right now, as of just like currently, my main place you could check me out is SoundCloud. My SoundCloud page is Spoony-B, Spoony-SPOONY-B. So if you could find me, if you Google Spoony-B, I'm the first link on SoundCloud. And I have my EP on there from this year. Welcome to Philly will be on there. And so yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. But I mean, other than SoundCloud, I mean, I don't post on YouTube anymore. I just don't. But if you go check me out on YouTube, you'll see those songs I was talking about from when I was in high school, trying to make a name for myself in the school and build my reputation. You'll also find my talent show performance where we almost got suspended because it just went all hell. Remember, Cole? That was
yeah, we got to talk about that one too.
We went balls to the wall, man. I mean, if you check that out, I mean, I killed the performance and everything, but then my friend was, a little intoxicated. He came up, grabbed the mic, he was cussing. We spilled spoons all over the stage, kicking the spoons all over the place. It looked like my friend Marcus was trying to suffocate me with a trash bag. Teacher jumped up. It was nuts, man. And my teacher pulled me aside. He's like, Spoony, you did great, but I'm just saying, like, you need to really be careful because you guys almost got into some serious trouble. So I mean, I don't think it was a big deal, man. My school's just, a bunch of pussies.
Okay. So with that being said, any last words, for the fellow rappers who will be watching this? Anything you want to say to them? Anything at all?
So the rappers, I mean, just keep doing what you're doing. Just don't stop. And I mean, like growing up, I always had these people criticizing me, and they're like, "Oh, you're never gonna make it. You can't just live off this. You can't but just don't listen to them, man. Use that as motivation to excel. And remember what I said. Nobody's original. So if you come up and sounding like somebody else, don't take that personal. Just use that. Just keep writing. Just keep doing you. Keep doing your sound, and eventually you'll evolve into something that's different. That's something. Just stay positive. Don't let failure. Don't let another rapper's success draw you into being depressed or angry, because I've faced that as well. When Slim Jesus came up with that song that went viral, I was like, this white kid can't even rap and he's got all these views. I mean, they were laughing at him, but still, attention's attention. Okay, and yeah, I was a little frustrated with that. I mean, but the thing is, you can't be discouraged from other people's success. You want to use that to your advantage and listen to these artists and really just go all in and try to figure out what they do or how they made it successful, what they did to draw attention to themselves, and use that and learn from it. The more people that come up in the game, the better chance you have of coming up, because you can take these people and their successes, how they learned, and put it all together and really try to figure out how you can make a difference and make an impact in the music industry that those other guys didn't, and make yourself really original, you know?
So there you go. Spoony-B, everybody. Appreciate you joining me with this interview, brother. And,
absolutely. And this summer, like I said, man, a website, I want to make Spoony-B.com, you know, get a legitimate website. The last one was a failure because the host kind of was trash. I'm going to try to get a real legitimate running website. I know Low Too Cold made one, and his looks really good. So I want to try to get myself a legitimate, well-running, fast website that I can go and do my thing on, you know, so.
Yes, sir, man. Well, you know, we'll be staying in touch, of course, and definitely be looking forward to that update on that competition, man.
Yeah.
You already know. I'm wishing you the best on that competition.
Yeah, and then right after the competition, we're gonna start hustling on that second EP because we had a lot of work to do.
Boy, you see it.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you doing the interview, man. We'll stay in touch.
All right, much love, guys. Don't give up.
Peace.